Hello and welcome back to Europa Universalis 4. So in the last episode we took a little chunk of North Africa, and right now we are just currently sitting on that little chunk and we are currently converting it into a core. I've decided to speed up the game for a little bit of time, for the period of about 1 year, and this is because we do need to just kind of solve some of these problems here, such as lowering the revolt risk of our newly conquered lands. So we waited for a little bit. Anyhow, let's go down in and let's do some actions here. Well, it looks like we had to replace one minister, and I'm going to replace him with this person who provides us with 20% colonial range. Dependent on your diplomacy tech, you will have a distance, a maximum distance for your colonization. So we do need to increase that in the event that we do want to go over to the New World, and that's why we increase that. As soon as we hit 400 diplomatic power, we will be able to unlock the quest for the New World, and with that unlocked, we will be able to sail over here and check out the wealth of the New World, really. One other thing that we will be doing is that I will be assembling a fleet of ships to essentially patrol our trade port here, or our trade hub, as to generate us more money. And rebels appear to be breaking out here on the coast. Now, generally speaking, rebels inside this game are actually fairly tough compared to their Europa Universalis 3 equivalents. What I've done here is I'm just going to be splitting up two fleets. We have our early Kirax and our cogs, which are transport ships and heavy ships respectively, and then our barks are actually trade ships, due to their inherent benefit bonus of patrolling trade routes. So we're actually going to get them to patrol this trade route, or trade node, and they will, I believe, give us a bonus to the value of the trade there. Yeah, there we go. As you saw there, as soon as I applied those boats there, our trade power jumped up from 50 to 77.8. Now, since there's going to be a little bit of a down period here, let's talk a little bit about trading, and let's talk about how this trade system works. So, I do believe we've covered this, but the gist of it is that goods are produced, they go to trade node, from trade node, and then they are essentially sold. So every single province does provide something, such as we do provide some gold in Toledo, I believe. Yeah. So that's all going into the trade route, and that's all going to the different trade nodes, and then that money is either extracted domestically inside the province where it originates, or inside one of these trade hubs. And then if it isn't, well, then it is just sent forward into the trade hub network. So what do we want to do? First and foremost, let's check out this event. Encourage the Ecomedia system. This is about our colony over here. We've been just kind of sidetracking the colony, but it looks like, yeah, we managed to pacify the natives, and these natives will actually attack your colony if they are fairly aggressive. Perfect. And we claimed this territory for ourselves. That is good. So, well, what can we do to just kind of increase our trade power and really dominate the trading market? Well, if we go over here, you'll see that right now we have a majority share at this particular trade hub at 39% of it, and I believe that will allow us to take some of this trade out of the hub, and some of it will be moved forward by other factions as merchants, pushing it towards their central trade hub, such as maybe over here for France or in England. It looks like one of our generals has died, and we had to lose some stability either way. Let's go with opposing military schools. So we can either go with increased offensive or increased defensive. Well, We will go with increased defensive, and that will lower our stability, but that is alright because we can boost it back up. Now, going back to the trade thing, so we have this place, we have money going into it and money going out of it. So how exactly can we pump more cash into it so that we can make a bigger buck? Well, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to recall one of our merchants. As you may have noticed, judging by the arrow lines, trade typically comes into this area, but it doesn't go into the Mediterranean. No, it goes up here onto the coast of France. So to boost our own income, let's come over here into the Mediterranean. Let's go to Genoa and let us send one merchant here. Now what that should do is that'll give us a very little amount of trade power for now, but as that grows, that should siphon some of the 7 coins worth of trade into our trade hub here, making it more and more profitable for us. So with that said, what we can do is that we can actually form another little trade fleet to go over there and patrol that area to effectively increase our trading power there. Alliance by Portugal. Yeah, that's fair. Well, we will accept it. Another thing that influences trade is, well, the trade panel itself. So let's go over just kind of what all of this stuff means here. Essentially, we have a trade efficiency of 10%. That is, well, it's trade efficiency. It's how efficient we are, right? We have trade range, which is the maximum amount of tiles or provinces that we can essentially trade at. And then we have trade steering, trade income, and mercantilism. So trade steering is probably, I would say, the most obscure one here. Trade steering is essentially just moving that trade from one trade hub to another one. AKA once we get the merchant in Genoa fairly powerful, we will be able to steer trade into this direction more and more easily, and then we'll be able to steer it in mass as well. Trade income is, I believe, how much we actually take out of trading. Currently we take about 3.53 out, largely coming through here, I believe, which is good. Now the other thing is mercantilism, which I believe just grants us a bonus modifier to our trade power, which is also good. Unhappiness among the peasantry, we can either crush the peasants' demands and lose one stability, or lose some money. And well, I like to keep my money, so we'll be going along with this as soon as we have enough cash inside our treasury. What we can do is we can lower the fees of the army for now. The event timed out. Okay, well, I do want to keep that stability high simply because it does. We're at least at neutral for now, but it is definitely better to keep that inside the positive. Let me turn on the map back to what it was originally. There we go. Let's handle this rebel group right here. Oh, perfect. We can unlock level 5 military technology. Okay, so this is a very good upgrade for us. Now that we have level 5 military tech, we can recruit longbowmen, which are very good ranged people. Obviously, they function as better infantry units, is the gist of it. So when compared to the Latin medieval infantry with the halberd infantry, these guys can actually do something in battle. So these guys can actually affect how the dice roll plays out for them. It's not completely randomized, essentially based upon just the terrain and the leader. as with these Latin medieval infantry with halberd infantry. Instead, these guys, they have well, they have +2 shock in battle, offensive shock in battle, and +1 defensive shock in battle, making them quite heavy hitters in terms of that. Now what I'm waiting for here is to have our morale slightly raised so then we can get this group into battle as well. But I believe we do have unlocked, yeah, we have unlocked the quest for the new world. So now what we can do is that we can recruit a explorer and we can equip him with a fleet to go sail around the seas and hopefully probe out either the way to Brazil and area, or go and go into the direction of South Africa, really. So first and foremost, I want to see whether or not our little trade ships here are going to make a big impact inside this trade node. Now I want them to, yeah, there we go. So it jumped up from 1 point to 9.35, which is good. And that is going to send 1.36 to our trade node here. Not that much, but it's still pretty good. We won't ever write the national epic, just FYI. And we control about 5% of the trade here, which isn't a ton, but I mean, it's better than nothing. And it definitely does have that cumulative effect of us taking out trade here, pushing some here, so we're kind of double dipping into the trade into Genoa. I'll bet it isn't very much, but it's definitely the start of something. So moving forwards, we do want to do that exploration. I'm going to grab our fleet here, and I'm going to detach about three of these early Kiraks. And well, how many ships did Columbus have, right? Once we get them, we will essentially recruit a explorer. This is going to cost us a few diplomatic points, but that's all right. And he will be he'll be a fairly good commander, actually. He has a high maneuver stat, which should allow him to be able to move much faster and much farther in open seas, because you do take damage in open seas to represent, you know, the deterioration of ships and stuff like that. So let's see. Nobles demand stuff, demand privileges. Okay, well, we're going to get disorder simply because it's not that big of a problem. And because this guy is a good maneuver leader, he should be able to really help us out and really press forward in the whole exploration thing. I'm actually going to get another admiral out, and I'm going to assign this fleet, our trading standby fleet, with one of these admirals, simply because maneuver actually does help when we do trade missions. I didn't actually know about that, but that should slightly buff up our trade power there, which is going to be nice. Now this fleet is going to go piece by piece, and it's effectively just going to try to probe its way to the tip of Brazil is essentially what it's going to do. If you look upon our mini map here, you'll see that the closest part will be probably the coast of Brazil for us. And how exploration works is that you have to pierce the terra incognita, the territory unknown. And how you do that is that you get your ships and then you effectively try to sail through this. Now, it's going any known land such as this, it will be fairly easy to sail through. Although this terra incognita will have a much slower travel through time. And as you can see here, a little skull icon has appeared. Our ship is taking attrition. They will be gradually damaged, and we probably will not be able to take this ship to the over there in one sitting or in one journey. Because we have such a good commander, though, we should be able to proceed fairly far. Generally speaking, if I do this without a really good explorer, I would only be able to get 2 tiles, and then I have to return, come back when my ships are repaired, and then just kind of bounce from there. But as you can see, it's much faster traveling unexplored tiles, and it looks like we found some colonizable land down here actually. Should probably get rid of this hints window. It's blocking my view from the rebel information. Let's see, trade steering efficiency. Okay, that's 15%. Just going to hop back here and take a look at some more of the trade. So we still have 5% here. That is fairly good. Although we have 80% here, so we have 38% of the trade power. And 52 or 5.2 gold coins stay in our trade hub here, and we actually extract about 3 vet units out of this, and that 3 units added with some modifiers is then buffed up to 3.58. So that is well, that is actually pretty good. Definitely pushing a lot of money our way from there, but we do need to do a few things over there to kind of help us out in the next little bit. Now, our ships are fairly damaged from their journey, so they probably won't be able to make another one for quite some time. It would be nice if we were able to essentially nab a small colony that is something like this, just an island tile somewhere out there. And the reason for that is that it makes it easier to resupply our ships, as in heal them as time goes on. Simply because if you have an island fairly off the coast, such as somewhere around this area, you can make that a core, and that'll greatly extend your colonial range. Now back at home, I'll actually cancel this mission to do the whole legitimacy thing, because I want to see what else it actually has to offer for us. Missions are actually really rather helpful when conducting conquest, simply because to give you certain missions actually do give you the casus bellis and the cores right away, making it a lot better. So we do need to see what that is. Oh my god. Random event happened. We just automatically lose 1 stability due to that, unfortunately. So we do have to manage this. What I think I'll do is I'll check the different relations of Portugal and its allies and stuff like that. Because right now we also need to figure out how we plan on forming Spain is another thing that we do need to worry about. We are allied with Portugal and the Papal States. That is fine and good. And it looks like Naples is actually trying to ally themselves with us, so we will do the same thing their way. And let's see if we can actually go for a royal marriage with them. I would rather have Naples as one of our allies right now. No, I don't want you to enter the vote. Because keep in mind that we do need to fight Aragon at one point in order to just essentially take the portions of the land that we need to formally become Spain. And with that said, it will be useful to call in some allies here. Now our boats should be repaired by now. Yep. So we'll send them over from back into the Terra Incognita to scout that out. Generally speaking, exploring will be easier the higher your diplomacy level or diplomacy administration level will be, as I believe this will actually decrease the amount of attrition that you take during runs such as this. Oh, ho ho! Look at that, we have found land off the coast and our ships have barely taken any damage. This is good, this is perfect. Although it is too far away to colonize, the distance is 438 while our colonial range is only 192. So what can we do to essentially increase this colonial range? Well, we only need to stock up about 200 more diplomatic points before we can get the overseas exploration trait from the exploration tree again. And this will increase our colonial range by 50%. Not enough to get up here, although it will be enough after we stack up a few other things with it. And we gain 50 prestige from exploring this area. Now, the Papal State has called us into a war against Naples, and with us wanting to keep them inside our good books, we will not help them out. We'll just kind of leave them as such. And our ships will press forward here. No, let's get our ships back to the coast here. But it is good. We've made one trip into the New World. That is definitely good. Oh, looks like the fleet has been taking some damage. It's actually lost somewhere in the open seas. Yeah, they do take or no, they lost one ship, but no, they lost it. Alright, so now we know of the world over here. It's only a matter of getting some people over there to colonize it, provided that we do have the right equipment for doing so. And since we are not at war anymore, we will be putting up the colonization maintenance to full, so we'll be sending a lot more colonists to our current island over here. For now, what I think we'll do is that instead of moving into the New World, we're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to hopefully found one colony somewhere south of Morocco for now, and do some exploration there, seeing as how currently the quest for the New World will have to be delayed, seeing as how it is a little bit out of our reach in terms of the vast distance between us here. Now, I predict that once we get this idea, the overseas exploration idea, and level up our tech tree in the diplomatic section by 1, we should be able to get over there. Seeing as how if we do level this up, it will actually increase the distance later on by 115 when we reach level 7. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Let's see, corrupt viceroys. Well, we will have to suffer the penalty for that for now. And we've generated another explorer, seeing as how the last one was lost. This one does not, unfortunately, have the super maneuverability as the last one, so his exploration will be a lot more slow. Let's see, unhappiness amongst the clergy. We can either ignore them or accept their demands. Well, we won't be playing into the clergy anytime soon, so we will just kind of ignore them. In the meantime, let's take a look at the coast over here and see what lies here. Looks like there's actually some pirates active down here. And pirates are just a neutral faction on the map. They will appear now and then. And it looks like there is a island here that we are actually able to explore. So what I'll do is I'll bring our ships back home. I'll grab the larger fleet, and I'll essentially send over the combined mass of all of these ships for the sake of dropping some troops onto that island in an attempt to colonize it. Because like I said earlier, if we do have some sort of island out here as a staging base, as a core inside our nation, going to the New World will be easier, seeing as how the colonization range is determined from our closest unblockaded core province with a port. In this case, it could be the Canaries over here, provided that it was a full core province, provided that it was a actual region such as the ones that we have here. So in due time, it'll be helpful to grab some of those island places just for the sake of essentially using them as a bit of a staging ground for moving forwards. So likewise, let's get our fleet assembled here, and let's get our troops going. Now this island, even though it doesn't say it is, but this island is actually terra incognita, so we do need to get an explorer with a armed group of men to come in here, and they will, well, they'll see what it is, and it looks like it's actually Portuguese land. So, with that said, let's get our group of explorers to drive ever so farther. We can either support the Florentine school, be perceived as a patron of the arts, and gain prestige, well, or don't do it. If we do so, I mean, it's going to cost us a lot in terms of money, as well as the three different powers. So I think we won't, and we will pursue taking a look down here. And it looks like our ships are a little bit brittle right now, so we'll sail back. Perfect, and we have this objective right here. Continue the Reconquista. So this is yet another military mission. This will allow us to essentially gain Casus Bellis, I believe, on both Morocco and Algiers in these two areas. So let's do that. Now we have quite a little bit of money now, and we should be able to hire a few more troops, provided that we do some disbanding of our navy. So let's see these caps right now. We are slightly over the naval force limit, so we do have to eliminate some of these Kiraks to put us under that limit. Or no, actually we'll continue having a force this big for now, and we'll just combine it with our trade fleet, because what we want to do is as soon as we accept this mission, we should get the claim, which should allow us to declare war onto Morocco and Algiers. So that is very, very helpful. Now that we have that, what we will do is that we will grab our infantry here. You'll notice that our infantry have actually upgraded themselves to longbowmen, so now they will be much more effective in combat, I dare say. And we will, well, we'll ship off the bulk of our army here. And in the event that things don't go right, we will be able to build 3 more units of infantry and move them over to the coast. At the very start of the game, generally speaking, your Latin Knights will be very useful when compared to the men-at-arms or the halberd infantry. But now that we have longbowmen, you'll see that the stats here, aside from maybe maneuver, the longbowmen are definitely a little more cost-effective inside our battles. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be minimizing and maximizing on those fronts. Currently, what we need to do is that we need to hire another general. And it looks like we gained a brilliant general of fire. He'll be definitely able to lay down quite a few different attacks with those infantrymen. We'll just assign him to one of our armies, and let us begin the conquest of Morocco once again. Now they'll call in Tunisia, and I believe we will be able to call in Portugal, yes. And I believe we were also trying to do some diplomatic things with Naples over here, and let's see why they will not do this. Forgot to send a guy over there to influence their relations, but now that is done, they should be inside our good books. So let's get our armies moving. Ooh, boundary dispute. This is a fairly useful random event. Boundary disputes come up as in they essentially give us a claim over a province on one of our neighbors, although our neighbors actually also get a casus belli against us. So for example, right now, we will be gaining one on Portugal. We're going to press the issue because what this does now is that in the next few years, if we do wish to essentially declare war on Portugal, we will be able to, seeing as how now we have a claim on one of their provinces, which I believe is one of these. Yeah, there we go. Here we have a claim on the province. We should be able to invade them for it. And what are the Portuguese doing right now? They are pursuing things somewhere else from the looks of it. I was more expecting the Portuguese to help us inside this war, but we should be able to handle it alone. It looks like they just don't have any land troops. Is that it? Yeah, probably. Improvements in trade tech. So we can either gain a lump sum of diplomatic power and gain inflation, or just gain a few. Well, I don't believe inflation is yet a major problem, so we will gain that administrative tech. Inflation around 1, 2, 3%, anywhere below 5, in my opinion, is pretty much perfectly fine. So we will just kind of let that build up. Now we can invest in new tech, so we'll get overseas exploration. That's going to give us that idea, but also advance our category here in terms of Spanish ideas, so we also gained that. So that should take our colonial exploration range somewhere in the 200s, nearing the 300s, yeah, just right around there. Now, we might be able to colonize just right here in the next little while. It might be a little bit of a long shot, but as we progress higher inside the naval tech tree, we should be able to do something like such. Now let's see, where's my tech tree? There we go. We're also fairly close to advancing inside the administrative tech, which will allow us to build constables and temples, which will be helpful too. A new settlement. Let's see. Due to our efforts to develop our colony, despite our efforts to develop our colony, some of the settlers have rejected the capital city and have established a new settlement quite far away from the old one. Now people flock to the second one. Well, that is fine with me. So more taxes there is good, and this colony should be filled up in the next little while, which is fine. And in the meantime, our troops will participate in one big battle over here. hopefully crushing the Moroccan army. And let's take a look into this battle. So now, because we have a good leader and because we have infantrymen who have shock value, they will be actually able to participate into this battle more so on where they will be able to influence this battle more so now, as opposed to the battles just simply becoming who essentially has the bigger force and who rolls a higher dice value. We do get an innate value now on beating some of the enemy troops. Again, that does depend on a few other things, such as what type of troops your enemy has, but well, should be fine for now. Let's see here. We need to grab another leader, and well, we also need to disband some of our generals here in a little bit. For now, what I think I'll do is that we can either grab these two guys fairly cheap, or we can get the trader person, which is actually going to increase our diplomatic gain by a lot, but he is fairly expensive, so unfortunately we won't. We'll actually go with the naval reformer. He is going to lower the the cost of the technologies down to 390 powers, so that is that's the second best thing, I guess. Now, what we will try to do is that I only want the province that is essentially designated by our what's it called? Our claim, simply because inside this game it's very hard to expand without having these claims in place. So rather than push our expansion to nearby tiles, we're just simply going to go with what we had initially set forth to conquer. So we're going to do that, and my reason being is that now, if this plays out right, we should be able to make this province into a core for a reasonable amount, because we do have that claim. The culture of the province makes it hard to make these provinces a core. It adds 200 points to the base cost required to make a province a core. With that being said, places like Tangiers over here, because we don't have that claim, that value goes up to a whopping almost a 500 administrative value to do so, and having those provinces there isn't very good in that they do increase our overextension, right? So we do want to keep that in check. And currently what I do plan on doing is that we don't need a large majority of these explorers. Actually, you know what? We'll take the fleet, and we'll go on one more exploration journey, and then we will just kind of get rid of the leader of the expedition fleet. Yeah, because having 5 leaders at the moment is costing us a little bit in terms of our research, so we do want to take care of that by essentially disbanding a few of these leaders. Now I'm going to try to keep the good ones and the 2 explorers, and then I'm just going to disband the rest. So then we definitely grab that tech bonus. And would you look at that, Portugal is, from the looks of it, yeah, Portugal is definitely going on with the exploration. But they get, I believe their natural ideas, their Portuguese ideas and stuff like that really do give them a large bonus to exploring. So that is kind of that. Let's see, this province is only 300 some away. This is 400 some away, so let's proceed this way. Alright, well, I think we will end the episode here. And when we come back, we will hopefully be in a better position to explore the New World. In the meantime, just following some more of this conquest, what I will be doing is that I'll be just kind of lowering our our war exhaustion and doing stuff like that. Actually, it appears to be at 0, so we do have to do some stuff such as managing this overextension and whatnot. So I will be back later on. Be sure to like and subscribe as always, and hopefully during the next episode we will be finally able to journey into the new world, pluck down a colony, and drop off a expedition force. I'll see you guys then.